Hello Year 9. This is Miss Atkinson. Welcome to your first lesson for Spanish for the summer term. I hope you had a really nice holiday and enjoyed the lovely weather we had so far. So as I said, this is the first video we've done together, so there's a few things that I'll take you through which I won't necessarily do so in the following lessons. So because it's new for you and for me also, let's just take this step by step. Okay, Year 9, here's the list of equipment that you need for today's lesson. So you will need the exercise book that the school gave to you. Your knowledge organiser you may need from Module 5. And this is on class charts. You can open it in a window. You can print it off if you would like to do so, but it is not essential. You need a pen, a highlighter as well, and you can open up a tab with wordreference.com there in case you need to look at any words in the Spanish and English online dictionary. There are a number of short activities that you will complete during this lesson, so please listen out for when I ask you to pause the video. Once you've completed the activity, then please press play to continue. There will be narration from Miss Reardon as well, so she will also be asking you to pause the video and play, so you will hear the two voices during the lesson, just to pre-warn you. But please remember to email me if you have any questions about the activities in this lesson at catkinson@wokinghigh.surrey.sch.uk. Okay, please pause now and then get your equipment together and press play to continue with the Do Now activity. Thank you. Okay, so Year 9, just a quick reminder about presentation of books and what we've been doing so far so well in this year. A reminder, please put the date in the right-hand corner of your work for today. So the date today is Tuesday the 21st of April. So I want you to write that down and underline it in Spanish. So that's a bit of a test for you to see if you can work that out. I want you to also write and underline the title for today, which is Las Actividades, which is activities. Below that, I'd like you to write your objective for today's lesson, objetivo, and that is to describe the activities that you do in the summer and how often you do them using frequency words. You'll see on the slide there's a Do Now activity, which should take about 5 minutes. So now I want you to write today's date, the title, Las Actividades, complete the Do Now task, which is to translate the 5 sentences into English. So please write them out in Spanish first of all, and then translate them into English. And your challenge for the Do Now section is to write which tense each sentence is in. So please pause now, copy down the Spanish and translate into English, and challenge, write down which tense it's in. Press pause now and then play to continue. Great work, Year 9, and now time to check your answers. Número 1. Trabajo en un restaurante. I work in a restaurant. This is the present tense. The O at the end of trabajo tells you it is the present tense. 2. Lavo la ropa con mi hermana. I do the washing with my sister. It can also be I wash the clothes with my sister. So if you've written that down, that's absolutely fine. Again, we know it's the present tense because it's lavo. So you've chopped off the AR ending and you've put an O on there for the present tense. Número 3. El año pasado trabajé en una oficina. Last year, I worked in an office. Okay, this is the preterite tense. So we can tell this because we have trabajé with an E accent ending, okay, showing us it's the preterite tense. If we didn't know that already, then the time marker el año pasado, last year, would have told us that it's going to be in the past tense and therefore the preterite tense that has been used. 4. En el futuro comeré en restaurantes todos los días. In the future, I will eat in restaurants every day. So we know that it's a simple future tense. It's comeré, so you have your infinitive with your e ending on the end of it. Okay, that tells us it is the simple future. And again, if we didn't know, the time marker en el futuro in the future would tell us it's the future tense. Número 5. Me encantan los idiomas. I love languages. Is in the present tense. Okay, remember that languages is plural, so me encantan has to have its N on the end of it to mark that it is a plural. We're talking about something plural. Muy bien. Okay. Year 9, I would like you to send photos and email me your work. Also, if you have any questions about the lesson today, please email me directly. And now I'm going to pass over directly to Miss Reardon to continue the rest of the lesson. Okay. I look forward to speaking to you soon.
Okay, so now I'm going to introduce the vocabulary for the different activities to you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say the piece of vocabulary in Spanish, and then I will leave you time to repeat it back after me before moving on to the next one. So, número 1, monto a caballo. Número 2, cocino para mi familia. With this one, pay real close attention to the first word, cocino, making sure we pronounce that CI as a fi sound. Número 3, toco la guitarra. Número 4, juego al baloncesto. Número 5, tomo el sol. Número 6, descanso. Número 7, hago turismo. Número 8, como muchos helados. Número 9, saco fotos. Número 10, compro recuerdos. Muy bien. Now, what I would like you to do is write down the Spanish vocabulary and match it up with the English. Please write both the Spanish and the English. We look at the first one, monto a caballo. I'm going to look down my list of English and identify that that one is G. I do horse riding. Please now pause the video to complete this activity. Well done for completing that activity. Let's now move on and check the answers. So, monto a caballo, as we said before, is I do horse riding. Cocino para mi familia is I cook for my family. Toco la guitarra, I play the guitar. Juego al baloncesto, I play basketball. Tomo el sol, I sunbathe. Descanso, I rest or I relax. Hago turismo, I do sightseeing. As you can see, we've got that word turismo. Looks a little bit like tourism. Número 8, como muchos helados. I eat lots of ice creams. Número 9, saco fotos. I take photos. Y número 10, compro recuerdos. Please take a moment to make sure you've got all of those correct in your book, and if not, please just take a moment now to pause the video and make sure you've got the correct English next to the Spanish. Now you're going to spend 10 minutes using Look, Cover, Write, Check, which you're really familiar with, either on a piece of paper or using your exercise book or the back of your exercise book to learn this vocabulary off by heart. At the end of your 10 minutes, you can play the video once again and I'll give you a quick test on the vocabulary. Please pause the video now and spend 10 minutes doing your Look, Cover, Write, Check. Okay, now for a quick test on the vocabulary to see how well you've committed that to memory so far. So, the first one, I will say the Spanish and I'd like you to then say the English aloud. Monto a caballo. Please now say the English for monto a caballo out loud. What's saco fotos? What about compro recuerdos? And juego al baloncesto? Next one, cocino para mi familia. Descanso. Toco la guitarra. Tomo el sol. Como muchos helados. And finally, what's hago turismo? Well done. If you didn't get all of them right, please now spend a moment highlighting the vocabulary that you could not recall from the list in your book and spend 5 more minutes learning these. Okay, so here now I've got a text which is incorporating both our vocabulary for the different activities and also frequency expressions, so saying how often those different activities are done. What I'm going to do, first off, is I'm going to read the text to you in Spanish and all you need to do is follow. Off we go. Hola, en verano me gusta hacer muchas actividades. Por ejemplo, todos los días toco la guitarra, ya que es muy divertido. Y de vez en cuando hago turismo con mi familia, pero es un poco caro. Generalmente, una vez a la semana, cocino pescado con verduras para mi familia porque es delicioso. Además, si voy de vacaciones, compro recuerdos para mis amigos, dado que es importante, y tomo el sol y descanso a menudo. Juanito. Okay, so now what we're going to do is you guys are going to have the opportunity to practice your pronunciation now by reading the text. I'm going to read a line and then I'm going to give you time to read that same line out loud. Off we go. Hola, en verano me gusta hacer muchas actividades. Your turn. Por ejemplo, todos los días toco la guitarra, ya que es muy divertido. Your turn. Y de vez en cuando hago turismo con mi familia, pero es un poco caro. Your turn. Generalmente, Una vez a la semana cocino pescado con verduras para mi familia porque es delicioso. Your turn. Además, si voy de vacaciones, compro recuerdos para mis amigos, dado que es importante. Your turn. Y tomo el sol y descanso a menudo. Your turn. Well done, that was really good. Now what I'd like you to do is read that text again and copy and complete this table below. So you're going to have 3 columns. The first is first person verbs, followed by frequency expressions, followed by adjectives. So first person verbs, they are just the verbs that we've been doing so far today for your activities. So the first one in there is toco, from I, meaning I play. The first frequency expression, so those are our expressions which tell us how often we do a certain activity. The first one in there is todos los días, meaning every day. And then adjectives obviously are describing words to give our opinion on these activities. The first one in the text is divertido, which means fun. So now please pause the video and copy and complete this table with all of the first person verbs, frequency expressions and adjectives that you can find in the text. Well done for completing that activity. You can now check your answers. So your first person verbs are toco, which we already had, hago, cocino, descanso, voy, compro and tomo. Frequency expressions, which todos los días we already had, de vez en cuando, generalmente, una vez a la semana, siempre and a menudo. And your adjectives are divertido, caro, delicioso, and finally importante. Now what I would like you to do is you are going to translate that text written by Juanito into English, but you don't have to do it all on your own. What I've given you is a guide below with the English translation with some gaps in. So if we look at the beginning, you'll see it starts with a gap. So what we need to do is look up to the Spanish and find out what needs to go in that first gap. It's that first word before the comma. So in the Spanish we've got hola, therefore we know that hola translates to hello, and that's going to be the word to fill in our first gap. What you need to do is you need to just write the English. You don't need to copy the Spanish text at all. That would take you ages. You just need to write the English translation. So the first word would be hello. You'd then write in the summer, and then you'd find out what would go in that next gap by looking up at the Spanish above. Please now pause the video to complete that activity. Please now pause the video to check your answers. The words which you needed to write in the gaps, I have put in red, just so it's easy for you to identify the bits you need to pay the most attention to when you are checking. Okay, so we've now made it to your final activity of the lesson. What you're going to do now is to write a short text about what activities you do in the summer. You must include at least 3 different activities. I've given you 10 at the beginning of the lesson. I also want you to tell me how often you do them. Do you do that particular activity, for example, playing your guitar every day, or from time to time, or once a week? And then I want you to tell me why you do them. So you can then say, for example, I play the guitar every day because it's fun. I'm also going to display Juanito's text once again on the screen, just so you've got a really clear example that you can follow if you would like to. Please now pause the video and write your text. Please feel free to send me any pictures of your text, as it would be really nice to see how well you're getting on with your writing. Okay, Year 9, so we've reached the end of the lesson. Really well done for your work today. If you've got a little bit of time left to make up to your full hour, you can translate the text that you have written into English. I hope you have a good evening and are looking forward to your next Spanish lesson.